Hi, I'm back with a video. This video was requested by one of the people commented on my previous video, which is an overview of my portfolio that I applied with to the three universities that I applied to and got accepted to, which is Wits University, University of Cape Town, and the University of Pretoria. If you don't know, I'm a second year fine arts student at the University of Pretoria, and essentially this portfolio is what they require for you to apply, and it's part of their selection process basically. So hold on. I found it. I'm gonna go through my portfolio that I applied with to specifically University of Pretoria, because that was the one that I made. I made it with those specifications, and then with Wits and UCT I kind of like altered, seeing that with the University of Pretoria it was a very specific, they wanted very specific things, and with UCT and Wits it was more fluid. Just make a compilation of your artworks, and yeah, so this is the exact same portfolio that I handed in to the visual arts department at the University of Pretoria in 2019 towards the end of June. Same file, same everything. Yeah, it's obviously just missing the questionnaire that you're supposed to fill in as well, and also other stuff, other admin stuff. So this is just basically the artworks that I entered, my original artworks, photos and original drawings that I made for this portfolio specifically. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's go to the table. Okay, so this is, yes, this is the cover page of my portfolio. Less is more. Simplistic design is definitely the way to go. So has your name, a picture of something if you want. I put a picture of myself in front of one of my paintings, and yeah, the date, fine arts portfolio, and the dates June 2017 to June 2019. And with these, you can put them in whatever order. You can put them in order of like best to worst, or like best in the beginning and worst at the end. Or you can put them alphabetically, or you can put them according to the dates that were made. So I did that. I put them according to the date that they were made. So yeah, starting off with this one. This is one of my grade 11 artworks. I entered this into the Mpumalanga Department of Education Visual Arts and Design competition, and I was placed in the top 10. This artwork was displayed in the Mbombela Art Gallery during that week. It's like propaganda artwork based on voting, because at that time it was nearing closer to the local elections and also leading up to the bigger elections. And then these two I made in August and September 2017. This was for a competition as well. It was the Artem Arts Festival, and I got a gold certificate in the competition, and I think I was second place. And it's basically like a medley of like Vincent's medley of Vincent van Gogh's artworks. It's Sunflowers in a Vase, Starry Night, and a self-portrait. I honestly don't think that this is like a good artwork, but a lot of people like it, so I decided to put it there. I think the fact that he is one of my favorite artists, it doesn't link up to me in any way, shape, or form. So it was just like a placeholder because they wanted 12 original artworks. And then this one, at the time, I thought was my best artwork. When I look back at it, look at photos of it, I cringe. I think I was so taken aback by the size that I'd made it because it was, as it says here, 170 by 103 centimeters. So it was quite big, and not executed that well. But again, some people actually liked the artwork, so it's a placeholder. I've made much smaller works that I'm more proud of than this particular artwork. And then there is these two. This one I made in October 2017, and this one I made in May 2018. So with this one, it's basically about homophobia. The theme was scars in society, and I dealt with homophobia being a scar in society and how queer killings happen all the time because of people who just don't want to accept people for who they are, you know. So which is an ongoing thing now, like with execution wise. I've come a lot far into executing what that looks like, because this is just like a pretty picture to represent what I'm trying to represent. And with my later works, it's more like I've improved in a sense of like how to like depict my artworks a bit better to send the message across. Because if it wasn't for the word death behind this guy, it would probably be like a very pretty picture. So yeah. And there's this one, opening purses box. It's oil on cardboard, like cardboard box. So it was also entered for the Mpumalanga Department of Education Visual Arts and Design competition, and it got a third place overall out of, I think, 250, 300 works. So that was a very proud moment, and this is actually one artwork that I'm actually very proud of till this day. Not because of the execution, because obviously like it's not painted the best, and I was still learning obviously, but this I think was one of my strongest artworks conceptually, in terms of like, it might make trickier because it talked about biodiversity and air pollution and, you know, all the Greta Thunberg type of vibe. I would have placed it in the beginning, but I was going with the whole thing of like placing them according to dates. So there's like a chronological order from like, okay, we can see here is like starting out, and then he's developing and getting better and better and better, and put essentially the most recent work last. Okay, and then these two, I did them in July, I think, June and July. So this was a commission from my math teacher. She wanted me to draw a portrait of her son. So I did a pencil portrait, nothing major, nothing cool, but still very beautiful. I love this artwork. Honestly, this is the best pencil work I've done, simply because I don't know how to use pencil, and this actually came out very well. And I also put it in because if you can sense a pattern, most of the works that are here that I've shown so far are oil paintings. So I wanted to show that I'm not only just an oil painter, you know, just versatility, you know. And then with this one, it's basically a recreation of The Death of Marat by Jacques-Louis David. I did this as like an extra project just to practice my oil skills, because I was really, really trying to develop my oil skills, because yeah, as the other previous artworks, they speak for themselves. So this is basically like a practice. I did it on a 60 centimeter by 90 centimeter canvas. This artwork is currently hanging in our living room because my mom loves it that much. And then these two, let's start with this one. This one is called Dime for Drop. I did this for the Artem Arts Festival. The theme was water, and we had to do an artwork related to water. So this was my artwork that I did. I did it, it was oil on pressed wood. It was like circular pressed wood. And then I basically did this kid in a washing tub, and then did the 1 cent in the background, sort of to talk about how people who are disadvantaged don't have access to water, like proper potable water, and they have to pay money to get like proper water instead of like buying other stuff like food and clothes, and and they have to use their last money to buy water, which is a basic need. And then with this one I did for my matric projects. It was for the third term. Basically, this is about the story of Narcissus, how he fell in love with his own reflection. But to me, it was a matter of, instead of changing into a narcissus flower or a daffodil, I changed into this frog. We look into this frog. It's very dark. I was trying to go for the dark night mood. So some of the stuff is very like dark. You have to go closer to see it. And I think this one is also one of my favorites. I think, like, with painting it out, like the execution, I think this one is my best artwork, like, ever. I just love this one, and it's quite big. It's 77 by 110 centimeters, so it's decently big, and the artwork is beautiful. I think I honestly, I love this artwork. And then this was my final matric exam for matric. The name is SOS, Silent Horizons of Sanity. Wordplay, because you gotta think conceptually. So this one is 50 by 100 centimeters. You see, I even forgot to type it out. And then when I went to the department to hand in my portfolio, I realized that I don't type out the size. So I just can you please borrow me a pen? And then I just wrote down the size, and then but it basically is a more religious artwork. So it was basically religious piece, praying hands, sanity, Jesus on the temple of my head. We are the temple of the Lord. And then this was also just still life. The still life of cut avocados was a practice. It was practicing my oil skills. I did this in December 2018. I was practicing how to do still lives, because we hadn't done still lives. As you can see, there was no still life at all, and I needed variety, so I added this as well. It's a very small artwork, 50 by 30 centimeters, and I think also I think it's one of my favorites with the execution. And then this one is a pencil artwork, and also not very big. It's A3. But I think it looks proper. I actually have it. I cut it down to A4 and plugged it on my wall here in uni in my dorm room. And then this is 1 and 2 of my original photos. These two were taken for the Artem Arts Festival, the photography division, and I got a gold and a silver. Gold for this one, silver for this one. So I was like, let me add them. It's actually the actual photos that I handed in, because I remember ripping them out of the mount that I put them on, and then like someone just sliding them in this pocket file. And then another avocado, this one done in soft pastels. So with this drawing, it was drawn from memory, and I say it's drawn from memory because I had practiced before I did the oil painting on the previous one. I had practiced on how to draw avocados and match the colors and everything, and then by the time I went to this drawing, I had known how to draw an avocado, so I drew it from memory, and then this happened, which is not bad, but it's very, like, I think it's also the brand of soft pastels that I was using was quite bad, so it was very cheap, so but it actually turned out like quite decent. This is 2 of the other photos as well, self-portraits, and a lamp light, that's like, focusing on light and everything. Speaking of light, I also have these lights, a still life of lights, called it The Light Is Coming, because I was obsessed with that song. I love The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande. And yeah, it's basically this lamp light, which is literally right in front of me, and this bedside lamp, and then this also chargeable lights for load shedding, which I also have here. And then this was to show that practicing my observation skills, because they wanted also a drawing from observation as well, so I put this as my drawing from observation. And I think and then the last drawing is this one. Now, this drawing actually was meant for my UCT application when I applied in my matric year. But I ended up not sending my portfolio to UCT at that time. And then I decided to use that drawing for this one the following year when I applied for fine arts, and then used a completely different drawing for UCT. So this is also from observation as well. It's like my bottles of turpentine and paint and hairspray and like a watch clock at the back on like a headboard, bedside headboard. And that was a brief, hopefully very brief, that was a brief overview of my portfolio for the University of Pretoria. Obviously, it doesn't take only this to get accepted. You need decent marks. Forgot to mention on the other video that you need 60% for English at least to qualify. You just need that in terms of like marks, and also a bachelor's pass, but that's about it. And then your portfolio, obviously, and then there's, depending on different universities, a questionnaire or an essay or paragraph, or a bunch of words to motivate why you should be in this course. One thing that I want to say about my portfolio is, I don't know if you saw, but it's very, like, it's not like Leonardo da Vinci or Vincent van Gogh. There was a Vincent van Gogh, but it was not as good as the actual Vincent van Gogh. it was not like top tier artworks. It was, as I said, I think in the beginning, when I look back to this, I actually cringe, because those artworks were not me, honestly. Like, I've grown as a person. I don't strive for that type of style anymore, you know. So, um, essentially, what I want to say is, even if your art is not as good as you think it is, or like there's someone who has better, like you think has better artwork than you see all this, because let me tell you one thing, Instagram can be very deceiving, because you'd see someone posted, ooh, their artwork, and it looks amazing, and you're like, oh, I want to do that, I want to strive for that, especially, yeah, on Instagram, with like, if you follow like well-known artists, you're like, I want to strive for that, I want to make that type of artwork, and you don't realize that it's actually a process. They actually also started off with stickman and just vibes, and they got to that point because they kept on improving their skill, and that is the whole point of studying fine arts, is to improve your skill, not only like in terms of execution, but also conceptually as well. I'm telling you, if the university see potential in you, that you, yeah, if they see that you have the potential to be a great artist and improve, then they'll definitely accept you, because yeah, they're not expecting you to already have your ducks in a row in terms of art. That's definitely not what they're expecting. But what they are expecting is determination and yeah. But it's really all about improving, and if they can see, especially with the way I placed it from like in a sense of a timeline, so they saw like what bad artworks I made in the beginning, and progressing onwards to like better and better, not the best, but like definitely better than the last. So they'd see, okay, yeah, cool, he wants to take it further, he wants to develop it even more, and then yeah, then that's when they'll work with you. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. It makes it feel like I'm not doing this for nothing, you know. And yeah, it's really appreciated. Please share this as far and wide as you can to people who might be thinking of pursuing a career in fine art, so that they also know what is expected from you in terms of your portfolio, and what the vibe is, and yeah, what they suss out and what they don't, and what is considered decent enough and what is not considered decent enough for a portfolio. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and bye.